What's up guys, Arturo back with another DIY. Today we're going to be doing our heat extractors. We're going to be taking them off and wrapping them in matte black. So what you'll need is a screwdriver, flathead just to get the little tabs off. The second thing you'll need is a ratchet, wrench with the 9mm. You can get away with just using an extension, a swivel, and the 9mm for the socket, but it's really up to you. When I took these off, they were pretty much hand tight. They weren't too tight. It kind of worried me, but then seeing it, they're alright. They had Loctite, so just make sure when you're putting them back on, you put some Loctite on there. And also, I did use the back of the flathead screwdriver just to push up on each of the screw tabs that were going into the bottom of the hood. This helps by releasing it. Mine didn't have anything pretty much holding it in place as far as tape. It was more of a weather strip. And these are the tabs that I was telling you guys about, and these will go up in the hood right there, 2 of them. Now for my choice, I chose Oracle 651. They're usually pretty good. It's matte black, so as you can see right here, I'm showing you guys. Basically what we're going to do is just get a rough estimate of how much vinyl we're going to need. Put it up against the item, fold it a little bit, and then grab your cutter, cut out that piece so you have a nice straight line. Once you have that done, what you want to do is present it against the piece and make sure you have at least 1/2 inch on each side so you can do a little fold. It'll help the vinyl stay on there longer, and you guys will see what I'm talking about in a second. But yeah, you can flip it over, check it out, make sure you have at least enough to fold over the edges, and you should be good. Keep in mind, you do want to clean this out. On the side over there, I do have a water bottle that I filled with some dish soap. I brought out a rag that I can get dirty. So what you want to do is basically pour some of that soapy water onto the heat vents, and then what you're going to want to do is, as you're peeling the vinyl, you're also going to want to include some of that soapy water on there, just to make sure that you have enough leverage to where you can pull and also have some sort of leverage so you can get the vinyl nice and smooth without any air bubbles or water, because you will have to squeegee out all the water and as well whatever air bubbles you're getting in there. But like I said, if you have that leverage to pull, it shouldn't be a problem, and you can see that in a bit. And when you get ready to lay down the vinyl, just remember to lay it down somewhat in the area that you need it to go in. And as you can see right here, I immediately start squeegeeing out some of the water to the places where I want this to stick. If you have a hair dryer or a heat gun, you can use it. That'll work wonders on this. Even then though, you would need to start off by doing this. Here I'm wiping off some of the water excess just to give me a clear idea of where I need to squeegee off a little bit more, and you guys can do this as needed. I flipped it over just to see where I was standing at, and you can see right there I was a little bit off. I didn't have enough to fold over, so I do later end up tearing this one apart, putting a newer one with a little bit more on the edges. You want to have at least 1/2 inch on each side. Just remember that, it'll help you out in the long run. So what you're going to want to do is squeegee out most of that water, all the air pockets, whatever you guys have going on in there. Don't worry about scratching the vinyl. You most likely won't be able to see it right after you wipe it off. Remember, this did have water, so that is going to save you a little bit on that. So as you can see, the plastic piece, that is the black part, is rubber, and the vinyl will slip right underneath that piece and the heat extractor top, which is the white piece. A good technique that I also used and worked fairly well was just stretching out the vinyl wherever I put it on. This helped me with minimizing the amount of time I needed to use the squeegee, and also made a really nice firm grip when sticking the vinyl on. Once you're ready, you can fold over the pieces to the back side, and I did have a little bit more excess, but later on you'll see me cut that off. So basically Just want to stretch it out, and as soon as you're ready to apply it, when there's no kinks, you can apply the sticky side towards the back part of the vent, and that'll help you hold it in place, and then you can squeegee out the rest. Really simple process, but does take a long time depending on how well you want it to look as well. I could have done this really quickly and left air bubbles. It would have looked great from far away, but if you got close to it, you were definitely gonna tell. I decided to take some extra time, and all in all, came out really well. So here you can see me wiping off some of the excess. I do grab an exacto knife, and I just cut basically a line right down the middle, but I'm also careful not to overdo it, because you do want some of that extra material so you can tuck the matte black wrap underneath. This is where a heat gun would have came really in handy, but I didn't have one at the time, and I didn't have a hair dryer. Hair dryers don't get normally as hot, but it's still doable. It is vinyl, so gotta make sure you be careful on what you're stretching. Now I do end up cutting a little bit more just so I can start tucking some of those corners in. The heat vents have really unique curves in them, and you'll find out as you do this that some of those curves tuck way in under, and it's almost near impossible to get to them. So here you see me cutting some of the excess off after I've shaped some of the vinyl into those curves. Now what you're going to want to do is not cut too much of that off, so you're able to tuck some of that vinyl into the plastic of the heat vent. The black gloss honeycomb part actually is a separate piece, so you can tuck some of that vinyl in under that and it'll hold really well. That's what I did on this video, and as you can see me pushing the squeegee in there, works well up until you get to the corners. Then you have some sort of a problem there. The curves on that is almost near impossible to get, so mine didn't come out perfect, but it was acceptable. It wasn't noticeable to anybody that was walking up to the car or anybody who's looking at it. Now here you have me again squeegeeing all the water out, trying to get it in between that. Did help to put the shop towel kind of in between that to take up some of the excess water that's coming out. Now cutting the last bit and pieces of the excess on that vinyl. Once again, be very careful. You don't want to scratch the honeycomb, but you want to get it deep enough to where you're actually cutting through the vinyl. Now you can see me here kind of taking some of the bubbles out with my thumb. That works as well too. So now what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over. We're going to take the exacto knife and we're going to cut the excess of whatever we don't really need. So you're going to cut right above the bezel in which the rubber piece is going to hold onto the vinyl. So you want the vinyl to be long enough to fit right underneath it. Not too much excess, just enough. So you can take your towel and kind of wipe off any of the excess water. And once you're done taking off the excess, what you want to do is grab your squeegee and then pretty much wedge the vinyl in between the plastic piece and the rubber piece. That will make the vinyl stick really well and will make the vinyl last longer because there's something physical actually holding it. Once you put the heat vents back in the car, that rubber piece actually acts as some sort of a weather strip, which will be holding the vinyl as well. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. You just reversed the process in which you took the heat vents off. Hopefully your guys' came out pretty well. I'll put a picture right at the end of the video to show you guys how it came out on my end. Hopefully you guys are able to do this. This is a pretty quick, pretty easy DIY. Shouldn't really break the bank either. I got the vinyl from Amazon and it was about $13, and I have more vinyl than I need for different pieces. Alright guys, peace out.